Hello everybody, my name is Offbeat Outlaw. Welcome to a brand new series. That is right. I reviewed your power builds. I've reviewed your power builds. But today and in the future, I shall be reviewing something else as well. Your homebrew. Because, homebrew is really the exciting stuff. Homebrew in Dungeons & Dragons is truly what makes Dungeons & Dragons impeccable, because it allows you to accommodate for so many different situations. However, I have a stance on homebrew, and that's all of it is garbage. I have my own homebrew. I do. It's also garbage, and it's available on my Patreon. Available for free in my videos as well, if you got a keen eye and are willing to write it out. But yes, homebrew is universally garbage, but not all homebrew is created equally. See, in the scale of homebrew, there is Wizards of the Coast's homebrew, UA. There is officially published homebrew, that's stuff from people like Mage Hand Press, Kobold Express. That homebrew oftentimes will even get taken by Wizards of the Coast and put into their main stuff. Then there's my homebrew, because mine is automatically better. And then finally there's everyone else's homebrew, which can be interesting. But speaking of Mage Hand Press, today's video is sponsored by an exciting new book. That is right, I'm officially taking sponsors, so if you're a brand and have some money you want to waste, my bank account's open. But today is not about that. Today is about the brand deal I have for you. Today is about Mage Hand Press and their brand new Kickstarter, VALDA'S SPIRE of Secrets. Oh man, is this book exciting. If you play Dungeons & Dragons, and if you own a 5th edition book, if you own the player's handbook, you'll quickly know that there's not a lot in there. You need more. Well, if you want more, you got more. Welcome to VALDA'S SPIRE of Secrets, the biggest, most exciting expansion for D&D 5th edition. It's got 10 new base classes and over 150 new subclasses. You'll be drowning in characters, and it's exciting opportunities for your adventures. It's gonna be great. This is like the second best type of homebrew. The people at Mage Hand Press were lovely enough to send me an advanced copy. I have read it over. It is incredible. They've truly made some amazing stuff. And if you like Dungeons & Dragons and you've played it a bunch and you're just looking for a change, VALDA'S SPIRE of Secrets is exactly the type of game you want to play. There's races which are like little teddy bears. There's mouse folk. They've added so much. I'm sure you will absolutely love it. Please, if you are interested, click the referral link in this description and go check it out. Maybe it's something that you want. That being said, that is all. I'm gonna go and review my fans' homebrew, which is, so like, if this is where everyone else's homebrew is, there's my fan base. A little cut below. But that is all. Let's get into the dang video. So, this week, this video, I asked my fans to homebrew magic weapons for me. I'm going to be reviewing them. Just some brief, there have been some background bops the entire time. I just realized that. I'll take it out. I'll add it in post. Okay, so I asked my fans to homebrew some magic items for me this week, and that is what they've hopefully made for me. I'm going to be reviewing it, seeing how their magic items stack up. Some biases that I have: it is infinitely easier to make something overpowered than it is to make something middle of the ground powered. To make something that's actually usable but can be used commonly is like kind of powerful and cool, that is really difficult. Making something overpowered is easy, and if I just get hit with some ridiculously overpowered magic item, I'm probably gonna give you a 0, because that's easy as shit. Anyone can make an overpowered item. A lot of this is also flavor. I see a lot of people, they make fun of me for, a lot of times they comment like, oh, it's about the flavor. I'm reviewing your flavor now, and if you just steal from folklore or just put anime and D&D, I'm gonna be upset, I'm not gonna lie, fam. But I'm gonna be judging it a lot. This is gonna be very opinion based. There's gonna be a bit of analysis in terms of the damage and me going, oh, I think you should make it more rare. But a lot of this is gonna be opinion and just looking at the shit that my fan base has come up with. That being said, let's jump right into it. Here's me saying, this video topic is magic weapons. So let's get into it. Sword of the 5 elements. Attunement, legendary, longsword or greatsword. +1 to attack and damage rolls. Okay, for a legendary weapon, that's pretty low. Chosen element can be either fire, lightning, acid, cold, or necrotic. Deals an extra 2d6 of the chosen element. If you score a crit, you can attack once more, the dice being 2d10 of chosen element instead of 2d6. Activate the chosen elemental crit ability. You chance to change element and perform a 30-second ritual. You can perform this ritual as many times as you want. Okay, so it's kind of like a flame tongue, but it has different abilities. You may cast Burning Hands at 3rd level. I mean, if you give this to like a no caster, that can be good, but like a barbarian still wouldn't be able to use it because it's still casting a spell. Lightning, creature must make a dex save or take 2d6. The creature must make. So is that you or your target? Do you activate it as a bonus action? Do you activate it as an action? Do you target them? It's not specific. If you failed, you can bounce to another creature within 15 feet and repeat the ability. Bounce a maximum, so that's only if you fail. I don't know, this is a little strange. The crit abilities they vary in terms of their effectiveness. Burning Hands could be useful. That aura thing could be useful. However, if you're a frontliner, you're going to be landing that. If you're a frontliner, you're going to be with the other frontliners, and since it's all creatures and you don't really have a choice whether or not you activate it, that could really damage you in a tough fight. I don't know. It seems neat, but I think the crit function makes it weird. I don't know why it's a crit function. I feel like I'm activating it on a bonus action would be just as effective, and I feel like it'd make it a much cooler ability and you give them charges instead. It seems a little convoluted for no reason. If I give it a 5 out of 10, I'd use it in my games as is. That means, like, yeah, I'd put it in there, but, like, I wouldn't be very excited about it. I'd put that as some, like, random loot. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. It just falls below my grade of being put in my game. It's just a little bit not enough for me to put it in a game and be like, yeah, I'm happy with how this is. Next item, Black March. Uncommon Great Axe. An ignition weapon forged from obsidian, a magical crystal with a strong connection to the Shadowfell. Black March holds 3 Shadow Spawn, requires attunement. +1 to damage and attack rolls, counts as a light finesse weapon with a great axe. A light weapon so you can dual wield this. So it's dealing a d12 and it's a finesse weapon. So you can use dex for this as well. This is already significantly more powerful than I think you realize it is. Making a great axe finesse opens up way too many opportunities for the average damage of certain of rogues. And light as well, dual wielding. Blade can be ignited to cast Spirit Guardians at 3rd level. DC 15 once per long rest. Cast this way, the wielder counts as evil. Shadow Spawn monsters are what flit around, not Fae, Fiend, or Celestial. Charge the blade as an action by taking 3d8 necrotic. The damage can't be reduced in any way. When you recharge it, can increase the damage you take by a d8 to increase the spell level by 1. Ooh. I don't like that at all. So 3d8 necrotic damage is at 3rd level for 98 necrotic on a barbarian who has a shitload of health. You can now cast 9th level Spirit Guardians for free. Just for taking some health. Charge it before a long rest if you know you can take it. And holy fuck, you've got the best Spirit Guardians before some other people could probably cast 9th level spells. On top of that, you haven't capped it at 9th level spells. You haven't capped it at 9th level either. You've just said you can increase it, meaning that you could potentially cap this at like 20. This is not good. This is really bad. This is really dangerous. When you attune to this blade, you become cursed. While cursed, the blade goes trapped. You would try to destroy the wielder. When you cast Spirit Guardians, you must make a saving throw to avoid damage. Alright. Once the spell is over, you must immediately take a DC con save or exhaustion. Curse can only remove by Greater Restoration or Wish. Casting can remove curse. This item's currently, in my opinion, unusable. There's no reason to use it. You'll use it once and then you'll never use it again. Because the kits that this will work with are people who can mostly already cast Spirit Guardians or already have some other thing to do and don't want to be taking extra damage for no reason. I could see this working with a tank, but why would they do this? But then again, you can get a spell storing ring. Then you can just have the caster cast that into it, and then you can cast Spirit Guardians for free anyway. The light finesse weapon thing was already busted. Then there was the Spirit Guardians thing, which is busted. And then there's the fact that it will damage you as well, meaning it's basically unusable. In my opinion, this item has fallen for the classic blunder of making something useful and then cucking it for no reason. There's no reason why the balancing aspect to this had to be that you also take damage. The balancing aspect, in my opinion, should have been if your Spirit Guardians do not affect someone that turn, or if everyone affected succeeds on their saves, it attacks you instead. Then you can have a self-damaging aspect without it being completely unusable. It's just kind of a luck-based thing. And then once the spell is over, you either a bonus action or you lose concentration, immediately make a Constitution save. So you can't even use this as a barbarian because it requires concentration. Yeah, this is an unusable magic item. 0 out of 10. Next one, Brass Knuckle of Lucky Shots. Monk Fighter Barbarian of 10th level or higher. Simple melee, one-handed, light. Ornament with holes for each of the fingers except the thumb, worn by its user when making a fist, decorated with inscriptions of luck and clover designs. Unarmed strikes while using the brass knuckles have this benefit: +2 to bonus to attack and damage rolls. Standard. Unarmed strikes using this item will crit on a 19 to a 20. Brass knuckle lucky shots 2 charges reload at dawn. After you crit with an unarmed strike, you may spend 1 user's charges to apply one of the next effects. Extra damage dice, or you can make the target con save, knocked prone if it fails by far, or it's stunned for 1 round. That's a really usable magic item. That is a really usable magic item. So there's a few things that I like about this, and then there's a few things that I don't. The things that I like a lot about this are you made it work with unarmed strikes. That's great. I like the crit. I like the extra effects on a crit. I like how it gets more crit. I like the flavor of it having clovers on it. The things I don't like, it doesn't increase your damage dice in any way. There's nothing that says your attacks will now do a d8 of damage or will be increased to a d8 of damage. Because barbarians have no way of increasing their unarmed strike damage if they're a pure barbarian. You've also said a barbarian of 10th level or higher. I'm assuming you mean in that class, but maybe add something that specifies that as well in the language. It's also a rare magic item. Now, in my opinion, rare magic items should be doing plus. Well, I feel like if you want to make this a rare magic item, this should be a +1 and then all this extra guff. Very rare, +2 and then all this extra guff. Keep in mind, the Serpent's Fang, a very rare magic item, it does a d10 extra poison damage every hit, doesn't even have a +1. You know? Honestly, with some tweaks, it would fit in my game. 4 out of 10. Good job. This is actually really nice. If you'd had those tweaks, I would have given it a 7 out of 10. This is pretty. I actually really like this item. Next thing, Heart Carver. All right, rarity. Rare, weapon type, dagger, attunement, yes. Description, obsidian dagger was used in dark rituals and sacrifices that have been long since forgotten. +1 to bonus and deals an extra 2d10 of piercing whenever you hit with a melee attack. Already, this is way too powerful for it to be only rare. Whenever you use this dagger to make a melee attack against a prone creature, you can expend a hit dice. Take damage equal to number rolled. This damage cannot be reduced in any way. When you expend a hit dice in this way, your attack is an automatic critical. So once again, it's a damage deal situation, and it's only on prone targets. You cannot willingly end your attunement to Heart Carver. Additionally, you cannot heal except by taking a long rest. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. I see why it does a lot of damage. It is a cursed item. I still would bump it up to very rare. It's off the get-go because it's doing too much damage for it to be only rare. It's interesting. I like the hit dice thing. I like that mechanic. I do think that it's a little bit too easy to just knock someone prone, though. That's my only worry, is that it's pretty easy to get people prone, especially if you have someone strong in your party who can just shove people. So it's pretty neat, especially since this is an item that's more than likely going to be given to a rogue because it's a dagger. It seems okay, but I feel like it needs a few tweaks. I feel like it needs reducing of damage or increase in rarity. I like the curse, although I do think it's a little bit too harsh to not allow them healing from magic. I feel like they just shouldn't be allowed to recover health from hit dice. Yeah, I feel like it needs a few too many tweaks. 3 out of 10. Good job so far. Nothing has been laughably bad yet, you know? I'm getting good vibes. Brandistock of Doom. Very rare. Spear. Attunement. No. Spear made of some dark metal. Clearly thought about this very hard. +2 spear. Damage is 3d6 or 3d8. Once you grab it, you can't let go except for throwing it. This is a really mediocre magic item. Does too much damage. Too hard to hit. The curse is really mediocre. It doesn't require even attunement. Yeah, it doesn't really have a lot of flavor. Just some dark metal. 3 out of 10. Next. Oh, someone doesn't read the rules. I made a necromancer class. I asked for magic items. Go to jail! Next one. The Saturn Boomerang. Description. Common. Oh, the first common item. Polished brass, frowning faces etched on surface, functions like a normal boomerang, one exception. When it's thrown at a target and misses, it returns to throw as normal. On its return, its passive air generates the sound of a mournful trombone. Yes! This is great! Adernus, this is what I'm talking about. This is the homebrew that I wanted in my life. Is it stupid? Yes. Is it funny? Yes, this is an 8 out of 10 magic item. But common items don't increase damage, aren't very functional. They just do some harmless sensory effect. It also has the benefit is if you miss and you're trying to do a sneak attack, it will alert the person you're trying to attack. This is amazing. I love this item. This is an 8 out of 10. I might put this in a game. Thank you for this, Adernus. Thank you. Wanna be the Monkey King? Try this. All right, let's just read this. All right. Ryu Jingu Bang. Staff, quarterstaff. Artifact requires attunement by a meditate. I don't know what a meditate is. Under the sun for 8 hours. I know what meditation is. I don't know what a meditate is. Surrounded by 72 items. Sentient weapon. Any person with evil. DC 60 strength check. Meaning that you cannot be blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, petrified, or stunned. Get extra proficiencies in athletics, acrobatics, and persuasion. Any being lower than CR10 will not attack you. Magical bludgeoning. Overcoming immunity. You may expend a bonus action to enlarge to 2,000 feet tall. Or battle master techniques. 2 superiority dice, 10 charges, 1d4 plus 8 at dawn. Simulacrum, you can make 5 copies, 0 out of 10. Negative 50 out of 10. Actually, I'm gonna give you a negative for every foot that this thing can expand to. Minus 2,000 out of 10. This weapon is absolutely unusable in any campaign ever. Next item. Herculean Lance. Weapon, +1 lance. Rarity, legendary. Requires attunement. Horn of an impossibly large Hercules beetle, of which origins are uncertain. A large old metal handle has been bolted to the base of the horn. Several runes have been carved into the shell, however so dimly glowing with great magical strength. Mighty throw. Before attacking, if the person wielding this weapon has moved 30 feet, they expend a bonus action to launch the target 200 feet in the air. Likely to the ceiling. The target will take the remaining height they would have been launched as d6s of force damage instantly. For example, if the roof is 20 feet up, they would take 180 feet of falling. The power may be used once and recharges on a short or long rest. Oof! This item is way too powerful. In enclosed spaces, it's way too powerful. Especially considering that you can use that on bosses. There's no check. There's no save. You just spend a bonus action. You don't even need to hit. You just spend a bonus action and up they go. Yeah, an instant hit thing that can potentially do 20 d6 damage. That is way too much damage. Way too much. I think you need to change the damage. I think you need to change how it works. Ugh, sorry, Komai. That Herculean Lance is a little too powerful to be put in any of my games. That is a 2 out of 10 for me. Alright, Ballad Boy Dancer Spell Sword. +3 bonus to attack, and it is a legendary scimitar. Requires attunement by a creature with a minimum +10 to charisma. So you gotta have a 30 charisma performance check. It's gotta be a +10 to performance checks. Okay, that's a little specific and weird, but I like it. When you hit an attack with this weapon while attuned to it, you may make a charisma performance check contested by the target's performance check. If you succeed, the target takes an extra 2d12 psychic damage as the sword admonishes them. That's hilarious. I like that a lot. Stage management. Oh, I like that name. I like these names. You can cast Dancing Lights as a cantrip at will. Sword has 7 charges, meaning you cast Pyrotechnics. It costs 2 charges. Programmed Illusion, which costs 3 charges. Both spells have a DC 17 save. Sword regains 1d4 +1 at dawn. When you start your blade song, you can Spell Sword Serenade. When you start your blade song, You can further increase your AC and Constitution amount equal to half your proficiency bonus for concentration saves. Increase walking speed by 20 instead of 10. You roll acrobatics, you get a 9 or lower on the d20, you may count it as a 10. Well, that's neat. If you're not a Bladesinger, you may use an action to imitate Bladesong for a number of rounds equal to your proficiency bonus. The spell version of Bladesong gives you the following benefits. Increase your AC amount equal to half your proficiency bonus. Increase walking speed by 15. If you roll acrobatics, get a 7 or lower, you may count it as an 8. That's really cool. I like how you have like a mix in there. Jiving footwork. If you're forced to make a dex save and you don't solve their effects if you pass the check, but still take full damage if you fail. That's cool. Sentient lawful neutral weapon with an intelligence of 12, a wisdom of 15, and a charisma of 15. It has a hearing and dark vision out to a range of 120 feet. It also has a plus 10 to history checks regarding dance. The weapon communicates telepathically with its wielder and can speak, read, and understand common. It has a stuffy, posh, aristocratic voice. The weapon knows the performance modifier of all creatures within 120 feet of it and has a negative opinion of anyone less than a plus 10 to charisma bot to performance checks. That's super fucking funny. That's really funny. The sword has high standards and won't attune to just anyone. To be eligible to attune with the weapon, you must have at least a plus 10 to performance checks. When you attune to this item, you must perform a 1-hour dance routine that the sword will appraise. You cannot cast magic during or within the 1-hour performance of this routine. On a DC 23 performance check, the sword begrudgingly accepts you as its wielder, and the above effects are granted. On a failure, the sword harshly berates the performance. You take 8d12 psychic and suffer 3 levels of exhaustion. Holy shit. That is fucking awesome. Ballad Boy, excellent magic item. That is an incredibly well-made magic item. I like how it's a legendary weapon, and as such, it's got a lot of legendary effects, as well as a lot of meaningless, non-combat related stuff. A lot of people forget D&D is not just all combat, especially when making magic items. I like how there's like some dancing lights and program illusion and stuff. Dance off is a hilarious extra damage mechanic. Plus 3 bonus. It is a little high for a legendary. I would probably make this an artifact if it gets plus 3, to be honest. I like the spell sword serenade. I like how it gives something extra to blade singers and then something a little bit less if you're not a blade singer that's like a blade song. Sentience. The personality of the sword is awesome. The above effects are granted on failure. Sword harshly berates performance. Take 8d12. I like the appraisal. That is amazing. I like that's a special attunement. I like how it's just not cucking you when you're using it. It's super powerful, but then it also does damage to you. I like how that's not there. This is a great magic item. I don't like giving 10 out of 10s to legendary weapons, but when it's done right, it's done right. This is a 10 out of 10. Great work, Ballad Boy. Fulminators Storm, legendary longbow. Plus 2 bonus. When you hit an enemy, you deal an extra d8 lightning. 1 charge. As an action, you can expend the charge to prepare a trio of arrows. You release the 3 arrows at any point or target you choose within a 20-foot radius of each other. If you target a creature with these arrows, you can only target up to 1 creature per arrow. An individual attack roll for each targeted creature. On a miss, the arrow lands on the ground within 5 feet. That is a really neat item. I like that a lot. It's got a neat mechanic associated with it, and it's got a neat battle strategy associated with it. I like how it's not just more dice, more damage, do more things. You gotta target a group. It's only effective if there's more than 3 people there, really. That's how you get the most use out of it. So it makes the player question, do I want to use this? Do I want to use this now? Do I want to use this for this horde that could be coming later? Or do I want to use this on this boss when there's not really that many enemies? It makes the player question, it makes them wonder. Solid item, 8 out of 10. I like it a lot. Bow of the Beast requires a full caster to attune. What does that mean? Do you mean a wizard? Do you mean a sorcerer? Do you mean it can only be someone who's not multi-classed? Because full caster has many meanings. So that means not paladins, or does that mean exclusively clerics? Not enough. An unusual longbow made of a meteorite that can only be described as otherworldly, even sacred. When you knock an arrow on the bow, radiant arrow energy imbued into the arrow stays with it once the arrow is shot. That's dangerous. When equipped with this weapon, you gain the following benefits. Treat the bow as a plus 3 magic weapon and gain the benefits of a plus 3 magic weapon. What do you mean you treat the bow? Is it a magic weapon or not? When using the bow to attack normally, you deal 3d8 piercing plus your dex mod, as well as 3d8 radiant. Oh my god, this is way too powerful. You can use the bow as a spellcasting focus, And you use your spellcasting modifier as you cast your spells from the bow. Use them, 5th level 3 times. Meteor Swarm once. Wish! Way too powerful. Way too powerful. Way too powerful. If you give this to a Blade Singer, they'll be absolutely clapping everything you throw at them because they get access to extra attack. I'm going to assume you mean a full caster who's not multi-classed, because if it's a full caster who can be multi-class, they just need access to being a wizard. Way too powerful. As is, it does way too much damage. That's a potential 12d8 in a turn for just attacking if you're a Blade Singer. You can use a spell casting focus, 5th level magic missile, so that's a lot. Spell Meteor Swarm once from the bow. Meteor Swarm and Wish once from the bow. Being given access to 1 Wish is insane just for getting an item. I realize this is a really late game item probably, but it's giving too much. It's giving way too much. Give this to a cleric, someone who doesn't necessarily have access to Wish innately, and they will go to town with this. This is way too powerful. I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 10. Yeah, I think you need to change the mechanics. I think giving them access to Meteor Swarm and Wish for free is a little powerful. Maybe it works in your campaign, but as a general magic item, this is not gonna fly. This is a 2 out of 10. Dagger of Anxiety. Basically, it's nothing to you. It's a +1 dagger with an effect that states make a wisdom save if you fail. A wisdom saving throw. If you fail, nothing happens. If you pass it, nothing happens. Reason why I call it this is because the dagger's wisdom save is what causes anxiety, not the effect from failure. These on paranoid players, you make going through a door a military operation on par with Normandy. Funniest homebrew item I've seen a DM use, and players use it on a rogue monk and they were terrified of failing. This is hilarious. I love this. This is an item that you get, I would happily put in my game. It's very balanced. It does nothing other than make your players upset. That's some funny shit. That's a 10 out of 10, baby. Oh, look, someone submitted a 100 level class because they too cannot read. Legendary armor, D20, and on that one you instantly die. That's already terrible. I'll never put it on. Considering there's a chance to instantly die, there's a chance to revert to level 1. No, this is a useless magic item. I would never put it on. 0 out of 10. And that, my friends, is today's episode of reviewing your homebrew. That's surprising. There wasn't anything laughably bad. There's only a few people who don't know how to read, which is standard for the Offbeat Outlaw fan base. But thank you so much for submitting, for those that did. Had a good time. I've got some new ideas for magic items now. Thanks for the free content. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know. I will be posting the new homebrew that I want to see in the coming weeks in my Discord, so please join the Discord if you want to submit your homebrew, and please check out VALDA'S SPIRE of Secrets. I know I already did my shill. That was the paid one. This is just me as a content creator. Go check it out. It's really cool. 5th edition's been out for a while. If you're tired of 5th, this is a great way to continue enjoying this game that we all love. Thank you so much for watching. Get the fuck out of my house.